Ladies and gentlemen, geeks and nerds, welcome back to another episode of Road to HermitCraft, and this is a very special episode. We have reached episode number 64, which means we have reached a stack of episodes. Oh yes! Brilliant. So yeah, today we're going to do a bit of building. We're going to do a bit of building over in the city. So I've done a bit of planning and yeah, I've done a bit of thinking about it. So yeah, if you want to see how that city is going to evolve, then yeah, stay tuned for that. But before we do that, I just want to talk about our storage system that we did last episode. And if you remember, if you've seen last episode, I did a little test at the end and it didn't quite work. And I had a lot of people in the comments telling me that there were hoppers in the wrong place, that kind of thing. But actually that was all built correctly. The problem was over there, right over here. So what was happening was the items were coming up this up the item elevator, and they were getting stuck right up there. There was the way I did the water streams, and I had a trapdoor above a little bit further back, and yeah, some of the items were getting stuck up there, and then not actually making it anywhere near the system. But just to prove, I'm going to do another test. So in this shulker box, I've got 30 bone blocks, but I've got 29 of these other four items, and that's because over here in the storage system, if we go over here, I think it's next to this one. Yeah, so we've got some ice. Here we've got one sea lantern, I couldn't think what it was called, and there we have some grey concrete, and this one we have some white glass. So so we should end up with 30 stacks in each of those four right there, and over here we should end up with our 30 bone blocks. So 30 is the magic number in each of the chests. So if I break this and pop it in here, we should see it to start dispense those items like last time. And yeah, it's going to leave this to run, and then when we come back we'll have a look, make sure that it's working. And in fact, let's just hop up there as that's going. Hopefully I won't pick up any items. Yeah, so the problem, as this is going along, the problem was right here. So the items came up here across the water, and I actually had a trapdoor right here. And because the bubble elevator sort of lifts the items up, they were hitting the ceiling, hitting this roof, this glass right here, and then colliding with the trapdoor, and then end up getting stuck right there. So yeah, so what I did was added this glass on the top, changed it to be a pressure plate right there, and actually these two blocks here weren't ice underneath, so I've added that as well, and now all the items find their way around, no problem at all. So this will take a few minutes to go around, so I'll let that running, and yeah, bring it back in a minute, and we can double check to make sure this thing does actually work. The test is over and our storage system has finished sorting these items, so let's check it out. Hopefully it's all worked. It should do. So let's have a look in here, and 30 is the magic number we're looking for. There we go. There's our 30 ice, our 30 sea lanterns, 30 concrete, and lastly 30 glass. Yes, so that has sorted all those items correctly, and over here we should have our 30 bone blocks. There we go. Awesome stuff. All right, so this thing is definitely working, and yeah, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I was a little bit worried that after last episode I made a big derp and would have to do a lot of work to kind of fix it, but turns out I just made a simple mistake over here. So yeah, glad I found that, and yeah, really happy that this is all now fully functional. This storage room is going to be super epic once it's finished. And yeah, I kind of look around this thing, notice that obviously this has all been made by a whole bunch of smart people, all the people from Sci-Fi. So Methods did this bit. We've got a bit up there from Il Mango. This is from Nembom, and this bit over here is from Pella Pella. So, and obviously this bit down here is from Methods as well. So a bunch of smart people sharing their stuff with the community. That's what it's all about. So thanks very much for those guys. Super cool stuff. All right, so let's get on over to our city and do some building. I haven't picked out a name yet for the city. We need to do that pretty quick. Can't keep calling it the city. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions, then get it in the comments. There's still time for that. But before we get there, we need to make a quick stop off along the way to pick up some materials. So who remembers this place then? Yes, this is our Guardian farm, of course. And yeah, we haven't been here in quite some time, but yeah, we need to get a few bits because we're going to use some of this stuff in our city build, I think. And yeah, I'll show you more about that in a bit. But yeah, I was looking for my shulker boxes, and I found a bunch of the bricks. So we've got this shulker box here with all of the bricks, but I don't have any of these, the prismarine blocks that I can see. So I'm going to get some of these shards and do a bit of crafting, and yeah, bring a whole bunch of those with us. And then once I've done that, I'll meet you over at the city and I'll explain what we're going to try and do today. And here we are flying above our city, and here are the buildings, the building templates. And yeah, today we are going to focus on one particular building that I think is going to set the tone for everything else, and that is this thing right here, the Ziggurat, which is going to be the main kind of building of the city. So this is going to be the main sort of focal point, I guess. And I think if we can do this one first, then the rest of the buildings can kind of riff off of that. So I've been looking around for some inspiration, looking for some pictures of some ziggurats, and yeah, I think I found one that I like, so I'm going to stick it up on screen, see what you think of this thing. So this is an image from Civilization 6, it turns out, and yeah, I think this fits in quite nicely. So obviously the walls there are this kind of sandstony colour, and they use this blue sort of colour to have like an accent. Now we don't have blue stairs and slabs, but I think the prismarine stairs and slabs that we do have, we can use it in replacement, because that goes well with the sandstone. And also I think what would be good is if we go over to the walls right over here, one of the things I've been thinking about is trying to inject some colour into these walls, because they're a bit plain. So it'd be good if we can somehow get some of those prismarine blocks into the walls as well. And of course that's one of the reasons why I haven't done any more of the wall just yet, because I wanted to kind of settle it, keep it settled down, let me think about it for a bit, let me ponder it, see what feedback I get. And yeah, then once we've got that down and we like it, then we can build that around the rest of the city. So hopefully we can do that. And now I need to think about the size of this thing. So at the moment I've got it down at that size, which I quite like. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start placing down some blocks, trying to work out how I'm going to build this thing. And then yeah, once I've got a few ideas, then I can bring it back in and we can have a look, see what you think. It is now a few hours later, and I've been doing some planning and some thinking in a creative world, and not much has changed over here because I've not spent much time here, but yeah, I'm in a bit of a pickle. So yeah, I'm going to show you a bit more of the kind of planning process and thinking process, I think, in this episode. I think that'd be interesting. So this is the problem I've got. I'm trying to work out the size for this thing. This is the thing I'm struggling with. I've got an idea for the palette and how it's going to look, but to actually get down the size of this thing, this is what I'm struggling with a little bit. So let me try and explain. So the footprint of this is going to be a square, okay, and obviously it's going to be in a kind of pyramid-y style shape, okay. Now with this line I've put here, this goes over one block over one block up, one block over one block up, so you get like a 45-degree angle. Now if you have that angle of sort of walls that go up like that, then it doesn't go very high. So I think from the bottom, which is there, to the top is about 26 blocks, I think it is. Now if we're over here just outside the front gate and we look up, that doesn't seem that high. I mean, it's higher than the buildings, I guess, but doesn't seem very big. So that's what I'm worried about. But of course, if I keep that angle and make it taller, what then happens is the outside footprint gets much bigger. So yeah, let's hop into my creative test world, and I'll show you what I've got so far. Here we are in my test world, and here's my first sort of stab at how some of these walls might look. And I think that's looking all right. I'm quite pleased with how this has turned out here. But yeah, like I said, the main problem I've got here is how big to make this thing. So I started off designing this with a view for it being at like a 45-degree angle. So although we're going to have sort of walls and it's going to be like stepped, so there's going to be a flat area here, then it's going to go up, and a flat area, then it's go up. I think the kind of general trajectory of it should be this kind of, should follow this kind of pyramid shape. So I started off thinking it's going to be one up, one over, one up, one over. And of course, if we do that all the way up and keep this footprint the same, this 51 by 51 footprint, the top of it will be here, which is actually quite low. So what I really want is, I want it to be much bigger, or at least, yeah, a bit bigger. So when we're at the walls of the city, we can see it above. So now what I've been doing is I've been experimenting with some other things. So here is a bigger, here is a bigger square. I can't remember what this is. I think this is something like, I want to say 90 by 90, I think, something like that. And yeah, that's the size that I need if I want to go up one over, one up, and the center of it be obviously around here and go up to the kind of height that I want. But of course, this makes the footprint far too big. I think it's gonna the size of the city we've got, this is just going to fill up so much of the land, and also it's going to make it much harder to build. So I'm not a big fan of making it that big, but also I want it to be taller than this. But yeah, the footprint of this one I think is quite a good size. So then as you can see here, I've been experimenting down with the different angles that we could use. So I think one up, one over is probably too shallow of a gradient. But now I've been experimenting with these as well. So we've got this one right here, which is 1 over 2 up, 1 over 2 up. So of course that's quite steep, but it goes up quite high. But if we did that, we could keep the same footprint and it would go up as high as that block right there, which is obviously much higher. So there's that. And then the one in between, which is, we can just look at this one. It goes over by 1 and then up by 2. Oh, it's a bit of a mistake there. It should be, it should be 2 up and then 1 up, 2 up, then 1 up, 2 up, 1 up. So that's a bit of a mistake, but you get the idea. So I'm just kind of debating which of these angles I should go with. I'm kind of thinking this one here is probably a good angle. This one feels like it might be too steep. But yeah, this is the quandary I'm in. I'm not sure how big to do this or what dimensions to do. But in terms of how it's looking so far, I'm quite happy how this has turned out. So I'm going to have to adjust this, I think, to fit in. So if you see this kind of prismarine, these prismarine slabs here are going to be the top of this level of wall, which when I originally designed it on this 1 up, 1 over would be here. But actually I need it to be, depending on which one of these I pick, maybe it's got to be this one. So that's got to go up a few blocks. I've got to redesign this, but yeah, I don't know if that's interesting, but I wanted to kind of show you a bit of the thought process behind and where this is coming from. And so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sort of redesign this a bit and see if I can get it to fit in with that height right there. So a few blocks higher, and then maybe build it up a few, build up a few layers and see if I like it. And if once I get to a point where I'm quite happy with the design, then we can get building in survival properly. I won't build the whole thing in here, but I'll build enough to give myself confidence that I can actually do it and it'll turn out all right. Okay, let me get places some more blocks, and yeah, let's see how this thing turns out. I don't know about you, but I always underestimate how long things take in Minecraft. Yeah, just the design process in creative took quite some time, but yeah, I'm on the way now and I'm building this thing up. I'm still not 100% confident about the size of this thing, but I guess we just have to build it and see how it looks in the world before we can know for certain. But yeah, as you watch me build this thing up, the big news this week is that we hit 7,000 subscribers. Oh, wow, holy cow, that is a big old number. So thank you so much for all the support. That is truly amazing. I guess on YouTube terms, 7,000 subscribers is not a huge number, but imagine 7,000 people in front of you in the street. That is a lot of people. So yeah, so thanks again, obviously everyone for the support, and obviously thanks to the team, my admins and mods and stuff that we have. That's been really good, and it's really good to see some new names, new faces coming into the community. I've noticed we've got quite a few new people in terms of comments, and in Discord we've had some new, whole bunch of new Patreons this week. So welcome everyone to the community. Glad you're all here. So yeah, I guess this year is the start of the new year, so we're going to close in on the 10,000 subscribers, which will be absolutely amazing. I never thought we'd get anywhere near that, but yeah, things are going well, and I feel like we've got some good momentum at the moment. Things seem to be going well, so just got to keep plugging away, keep doing our thing, and yeah, see what happens. Who knows, right? So I guess the next thing just to mention is I'm thinking about adding another series to the channel. Yes, so I'm thinking about doing a mini CTM map, and I'm going to do that as a trial run and kind of see how that goes. So I'm not sure when it's going to go out, or if I am actually going to do it, but hopefully I can. It's all based on time. But yeah, that'll be like a trial run, and if it works out, then we can do some more things. And yeah, that'd be something to look forward to. So that's a little tease. So hopefully that's all right. But yeah, I'm just about finished up with this time lapse. So I'll see you back in a second. So here is phase 1 of the first level, and yeah, this thing is coming together really well. Really happy with how this is going. We've got a whole bunch of details still to add, and yeah, let's have a quick look at this thing. So we've got a whole bunch of stairs here. That's going to take us all the way up to the top. We're going to be able to get off at each level once they're all in. I think we're going to have a total of something like 4 levels, I think, if I remember. But yeah, you can see here is the footprint. So I think that's a pretty good size in terms of that. And this is how high we're going to be. Maybe we'll be a few blocks higher than this. But yeah, you can see we're pretty high up. So I think this is, taking everything into consideration, the amount of space we've got and the amount of effort we want to put into building this thing. I think this is a good size. So I think what I'll probably do is let's go into the camera account and have a quick scoot around so we can have a closer look at this thing. There I am at the top of the stairs looking down, and yeah, let's have a quick fly around. So as you can see, our palette is mainly sandstone, but also with various different types of the prismarine for a bit of colour. Because I think if the whole thing was sandstone, it might be a bit bland, a bit boring, you know. But yeah, I've tried to get some depth in there, tried to use some different blocks and some texture, that kind of thing. So I think that's looking pretty good. So obviously those stairs are going to go all the way up just as they are in a straight line, but we're going to have various points like this one right here where you can leave the stairs and walk around on this level. Now obviously there's more levels to go. And yeah, this is what the general pattern that we're going to follow. There'll be slight variations to this on each level, but it's going to be generally this kind of style. And yeah, one thing to mention is we've got this stuff right here. This is the smooth sandstone. Now in 1.13 you can't craft that in survival, but you can in 1.14. So what I've done is I've created a data pack. Well, I've added it to my logical crafting in the same way in 1.14. So you smelt up some sandstone and you get it. So just been using the 1.14 mechanics for that. I think that's okay. I used it in creative, not realizing it wasn't in survival, and then when I tried to craft it I couldn't find it. But yeah, that's what I've done there. But yeah, I think this is all looking pretty good. We've got some details to add. So I've got some leaves to add, some flowers, going to add some water here and there coming out of some of these holes, and also we've got some spruce wood to add here and there for another element of color as well. So I think once that stuff's in, I think we'll have plenty of detail, and I think it will look pretty good. So yeah, pretty happy with how this is turning out. I wish I was a bit quicker at doing it. I tend to put a few blocks down and then realize I don't have any more in my inventory, so I have to go and get some more, and then backwards and forwards and climbing up and climbing down again. Oh geez, you know what it's like. But yeah, happy how it's turning out. And obviously we need to do a bit more terraforming, so all of this land here we need to deal with, because just a straight cut off like that is no good, but we'll do that another time. And obviously a bit of terraforming underneath here as well to kind of make all this look good. So I've done a kind of basic start of that at the front. So a few bits of grass here, nothing major, just an initial bit of terraforming to get us going. But yeah, need to do that too. So I think, yeah, I'm going to crack on now, get some more layers done up, some more levels, and yeah, see if we can get this thing done. Welcome back everyone. I'm now putting the finishing touches to this thing, a few details. So the main structure is now done, which is good. Oh, that's the wrong way around. And what I'm doing now is, so one of the things I'm doing is adding some upside down stairs just in this path to kind of break up this this kind of single pattern here, just to kind of give that a bit of texture, you know. And then the other thing is, on top of this, is sorting out this stuff. So you see this kind of looks a little bit bland like that. But what I'm doing here is I'm going to do this. So add some, I'm going to raise the grass up a block to there, add some spruce trapdoors, some leaves, some flowers, that kind of thing. And then in here where the lights are, I'm going to add some fences, some spruce fences. This kind of goes in with the lore of, you know, we've got a spruce forest over there, and we use it in the wall as well. So we're going to use some spruce and stuff. And then, so I'm going to do that all the way around. So all of these floors need to be updated, need to add these leaves and stuff, and the spruce and whatnot. So I've done a bit of that down here as well. If you scoot on down to the front, so I've done a bit of that here as well. And also we need to add some more water. So I started to add these kind of waterfalls here. They come out of here and go into this water that goes all the way around. So I've started doing that, but I've got some more to do. So we've got some more on the other side. So yeah, this is looking pretty cool. So let's have a quick look around. So here it is from the bottom, and there's a lot of stairs to go up. All these stairs, run, all the way up to the top. So here we are at the very top of our ziggurat, and it's got a gold roof right at the top with a gold beacon coming right out of there. And inside this very top room is a sacred book. I'm sure we could work out some kind of lore for this. So yeah, this is the top room, pretty small. I don't have access to inside at the moment, but yeah, I'm going to see if we can think of a use for this thing. and yeah, make sure we get some access inside. But yeah, if I go for a little fly and let you have a little view of this thing, see what you think. So over here, let's imagine we're a ship coming in. We're over here, and there it is. So that will be towering over the houses and buildings that will be here. So yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. So what I'm going to do is let me finish up the details, and then we'll get the camera account and have a good fly around and look at this thing. But yeah, that is the general size of it. Still got to do the terraforming, not sure we'll get to that today. But yeah, the build itself, the main structure is there. So yeah, let me get these details added in all the way around, and then yeah, see what this thing looks like. Okay, we're now flying in to the city. Let's have a look at this thing. There it is. Oh yes, that is looking pretty good. Quick flyby. Whoosh. Oh yes. All right, that has turned out pretty well. So let's have a quick look around this way. There we go. So you can see all the leaves and flowers and stuff, and the spruce. I think the spruce fences set it off nicely. Nice other detailed colour there, just to come in. There we go. Oh yes, I am very happy with that. And of course we've got the water around the outside, so we've got some of these mini sort of waterfalls, I guess they're called, sort of feeding the water that goes around the outside. Pretty cool stuff. Let's have a quick turn around again. There we go. Very nice, very nice. And I think the use of prismarine makes sense for this kingdom, because obviously they're right next to the sea, so they're bound to have access to prismarine, as well as sandstone from the desert that they're right next to, right over there. And of course they've got this spruce forest right over here. So I think the materials we're using all make sense. And here's our wall that we made before. So what we can do now is, now that we've got our ziggurat in, and I'm pretty happy how that looks, we can maybe take some of these elements and add them to the wall to make that look good, and then we can start extending that all the way around the city. All right, that is pretty cool stuff. In fact, one more thing, I just want to have a quick look over by the gate. Let's kind of get an idea of the size of this thing. So if we're over here approaching the gate, there we go, that's how big it is. So not too bad. So the houses or buildings will be that kind of size, and this is much bigger than that. Maybe it's not quite as big as I hoped. I sort of hoped it might be like maybe up there somewhere, but that would make a huge building. And I think for this as our first city, we'll keep it this kind of scale for the time being. And then maybe if we do another city, we can go a bit grander, you know, a bit bigger, that kind of thing. But yeah, very happy with how that has turned out. All right, yeah, I haven't done the terraforming down here. I'm going to leave that for another day, because I have spent more time than you might imagine on this. All right, very cool stuff, very cool stuff. All right, so I think one more thing I need to do, and that is to head on over to the Death Star, because we've got a little job to do. So as we fly towards the Death Star to finish off our one last job, yeah, quick bit of news. So on Monday's stream coming, we were due to do the How to Kill a Logic competition on the Patreon server. We're going to go through all of that on stream to show you all of those things. But we're going to postpone it for 1 week because I think we need a bit more time to get organised and finish up over, because we've had the holidays. So the Monday after, come and check out on stream if you want to see those those devices. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. So, but yeah, keep an eye on Discord and also on Twitter, and yeah, I'll let you know when that's happening. But yeah, we're here in the Hall of Fame, and this room is really filling up. Look how close we are to the edge. Wow. But yeah, this is a temporary room, and yeah, we need to deal with this as well. Geez, there's so many jobs, so much to do. But yeah, we need to add a new name, and it's going to go right here. And the new member to the Hall of Fame is Sergeant Icy Blocks. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, my dude. And yeah, Icy has been around for a very long time. Another long-standing member of the community, and always very active in Discord, especially. So yeah, thanks for all the support. And yeah, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Sorry it took so long, but yeah, let me know what head you want, and I will add it to the list. And that is another job we need to do, is to catch up with the heads, the head orders. All right, so that is about it for this episode. We have made a start on our city. We have built a huge ziggurat, and yeah, very happy how that turned out. So if you've got any comments or suggestions or any feedback at all, then get it in that comment section. And if you like the video, then hit that like button. And if you're new, then feel free to subscribe. Alright my geeks, until next time, I will see you later.